Let me guess, you start a new habit on Monday. Gym, journaling, waking up early, eating better. By Wednesday, you're tired. By Friday, you're busy. And by next Monday, it's like the habit never existed. And the worst part? You don't just quit the habit, you start questioning yourself. Why can't I stay consistent? Why does everyone else seem disciplined except me? If that sounds familiar, stay with me, because the problem isn't laziness, and it's not lack of motivation either. I've been stuck in that same cycle more times than I can count, and once I understood why habits keep falling apart after a week, everything changed. Let's talk about it. Most people think habits fail because they're not trying hard enough, but the real issue usually starts on day one. You don't start a habit thinking, I'm going to do something small and sustainable. You start thinking, this time I'm going all in. So you don't just say, I'll work out. You say, I'll work out 6 days a week. You don't say, I'll read more. You say, I'll read 30 minutes every night. That sounds ambitious, but your brain hears something else. It hears pressure, and pressure is exciting for about 3 days. Then life happens. You're tired, work runs late, motivation dips, and now the habit feels heavy instead of helpful. So you quit, not because you're weak, but because the habit was never designed to survive real life. But even when people do start small, they still fall off after a week. So what's really going on? Here's a hard truth most videos won't tell you. Motivation is not meant to last. It's meant to start things, not sustain them. When you rely on motivation, your habit only exists when you feel like it, and feelings change daily. One day, you feel focused. The next day, you feel drained. Same habit, completely different energy. That's why consistency breaks. The shift happens when you stop asking, do I feel like doing this? And start asking, what kind of person am I becoming? Instead of saying, I'm trying to work out, you say, I'm someone who doesn't miss movement. Instead of, I'm trying to wake up early, it becomes, I'm someone who protects my mornings. Identity creates follow-through when motivation disappears. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't wake up motivated to do it. You don't debate it. It's just who you are. That's the level habits need to reach. And most never do because they're treated like challenges instead of identities. This one is huge. People think discipline lives in their head, but discipline actually lives around you. If your phone is always within reach, if junk food is always visible, if Netflix is the first thing you see at night, you're fighting an uphill battle every single day. And after a week, you're tired of fighting. Instead of asking, how do I become more disciplined? Ask, how do I make this easier to do than not do? Lay your workout clothes out the night before. Put the book on your pillow. Remove the apps that steal hours without permission. You don't need more willpower. You need fewer obstacles. This is where a lot of people feel relief, because it means you're not broken. You were just playing the game on hard mode. Here's another reason habits die after a week. You expect results too fast. You think, if I'm doing the right thing, I should feel better by now. But habits usually feel boring before they feel rewarding, uncomfortable before they feel empowering. The first week isn't progress, it's friction. And when that friction shows up, most people assume something's wrong. Nothing is wrong. That's just what growth feels like before it pays off. The people who stay consistent aren't special. They just don't quit during the boring part. Miss one day, and suddenly the habit is ruined. So you tell yourself, I'll restart next week. But next week turns into next month. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about returning. If you miss a day, the win is showing up the next one. Not starting over, not punishing yourself. Progress compounds when you forgive faster. So here's how you actually stick to habits longer than a week. Shrink the habit. Make it almost laughably easy. 5 minutes counts. Tie it to identity. Ask, what would the person I want to become do today? Design your environment. Remove friction. Add cues. Expect boredom. That's not failure. That's the entry fee. Never miss twice. One bad day doesn't matter. 2 starts a pattern. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this. You don't fail habits because you lack discipline. You fail because the system is working against you. Tonight, not tomorrow, tonight. Pick one habit, make it smaller, make it easier, and show up once. That's how momentum starts. We're not aiming for a perfect life, just a slightly better version of today.